Good morning, everyone. This is Jared Aiken with Scars and Stripes Unfiltered. Coming to you on Tuesday morning. Yesterday, I recorded a little bit about um, imposter syndrome. I wanted to talk a little bit today about people, if you're dealing with depression, anxiety, or things like that. I think everybody at some point experiences some sort of mental health. Um, it's only natural with things that we go through that shape us that the anxiety comes up, depression can come up, and so forth. But I want to speak on my experience. I am somebody that definitely suffers and has suffered with major depressive disorder, with things that I've been through in my life. But I learned how to manage it, it became a lot better, of course. But there would be periods where I would wake up and weeks had passed and I had sat there and isolated, not hardly socializing, doing things that I really enjoyed, and just for no reason could not feel happiness. And like it's one of the worst feelings in the world to things are going really great in life, good job, spouse, things are going really good, and you're just the inability to feel happiness. It's the craziest thing, and you'll be telling yourself like, I don't know why I cannot feel happy, and others, that are if they're not understanding, they won't understand. So what I've learned to do when I have these times, luckily now I catch them way before they turn into weeks or months of um, time passing by. But what I've learned to do is to, if I don't want to go and be around people at that time, I'll force myself to kind of conversate, socialize. Now, I'm not saying that fits for everybody because you need to listen to your body and yourself on if you need a moment and do proper self care. But self care is so important. Um, Being able to, when you're dealing with depression or anxiety or any of that, start assessing yourself, because that mindfulness and knowledge of when it kind of came about, you may identify triggers that are going on in your life, um, hardships, um, certain interactions with people that you didn't notice changed your mood or triggers you in some way subconsciously, until your whole day's been ruined. So my goal in doing these little shorts on different things that I've experienced is the hope that it helps others. One, talk about what they're going through, because the whole idea of us doing the podcast is communication, and how it changed the trajectory of my life and other veterans' lives, instead of holding it in, because holding it in is where things become really toxic. Um, but you always hear, at the end of the day, reflect on the day. I used to have to do that about every 15 minutes, whenever I was really trying to make changes in my life. So finding what works for you, um, talking with others, always. So here's one thing. Whenever I was really learning how to try to change things, I would place myself around mentors, people that I was trying to work towards. People, if I wanted to learn more about finances, I would find somebody that knew about it more than I did. And the same thing goes with every aspect of your life. Um, Place yourself around people and places that you're trying to go, um, and give yourself grace. I think people are extremely hard on themselves, and whenever you deal with depression, you can cause yourself to stay in a cycle, because then you feel depressed about that you're in a depressive cycle. And I think finding grace and realizing that it's not just you in the world that this is happening to. and coming together and talking about it. I would love to hear from anyone else that suffers from depression or anxiety, or and hear how you deal with it in a healthy way. So if that's something you want to do, reach out, let me know. But at the end of the day, just remember that you are, you have purpose. You're a great, great person. You're deserving um, in everything that you do. No matter what you've done or been through, you're still a deserving person. Um, and you can be and use anything that you've been through to um, change your life around and change others' life around. So it's about finding motivation and changing perception. Um, Using your hardest moment for motivation and fuel to excel and send you to your moment in life. So, um, yeah, reach out if you want to talk, if you want to talk about your experiences and how you deal with them. But at the end of the day, stay motivated and try to make a difference in changing someone else's life if that's what you feel called to do. But at the very least, know that if you're in a dark place, the light is just right there. And if you need to talk to somebody, reach out. But you're not your darkest moment, that's for sure. And it took me a long time to come to that realization. Um, and when I did, there's still days that I have to tell myself that, or my wife has to remind me of that. But um, I'm trying to do this to, help others and talk through my story and be real with it and authentic with it. So thank you.